Free from the 70s. I kind of like that though, but it's on like loop. I've been listening to it for like 15 minutes. Get ready to this. More like an hour. Probably like an hour. So how's it going, everybody? West Coast Paintball. I saw you said hormesis, and I thought we were going to talk about homeless people. What's up, Brad? I'm getting a hormesis head made. I don't understand that. You're getting a hormesis head? You're gonna like decapitate yourself and like put on a hormesis head. I could see that happening at some point. My eyes are killing me. Sometimes my eyes get like super sensitive, and like if I turn bright lights on and stuff, they kind of hurt my eyes a little bit. We're just gonna take... Damn. Won't do that again. Lone Wolf. Something about Lone Wolf. I say Lone Wolf. What about Lone Wolf? Who's better, Lone Wolf or A&S Gear? I have no idea. I've never purchased anything from them ever. Either of those people. It might be, you know, a blue light filter truly could help me out a little bit, because like I certainly have like a problem with like sometimes my eyes just like, but it just like sets in randomly, like they start to water and it gets all irritated. That's crazy. I missed the DSR raffle. Where do you guys post it? The Paintball Ruin My Life Facebook group. I literally just did it like 5 minutes ago. So yeah. Freaking DSR. Nick Sloviak. I always wonder how goes it, sir? He says Pro Edge. Pro Edge is for sure one of the better stores. I mean, personally, I'm going to tell you to go probably shop at Lone Wolf before I say go to A&S for sure. Just because, like, I want... Anthony, I was thinking about you today. I was looking at your weird... the Adrenaline Lux. There's finally an Adrenaline Lux video coming. Pro Edge. Yeah, I'm going to probably always suggest, like, people go to, like, you know, smaller places or, like, your local paintball store, you know, before you go shop at some of these huge mega conglomerates, you know. Not that A&S is a huge mega conglomerate, but I'm certainly always recommending smaller locations. But you know, online for shopping, I'm always going to recommend, I'm looking around for something. Sort of, this might work a little bit. I am constantly always going to recommend Black Friday Paintball. Black Friday Paintball, or BFP Gear, is that we're kind of transitioning that name into. There's a logo on there, BFP Gear. They've helped sponsor these videos before, you know? Like, they've given money to me, you know? So I'm always going to support them because they're helpful to me. And they're my friends. You know, I used to freaking work there. I worked at this paintball stores and, like, you know, done stuff for the website, you know, so they're my friends. So I'm always going to recommend them. And they're good, you know? There's really no reason not to. It's not like I'm just saying that because they give me money or something sometimes, you know. I kind of want to hang this back up there. Yeah, Black Friday is, they're friends with, like, Pro Edge. Oh, we got the light going. Nick with a $5 super chat. I appreciate those dudes. Although, I don't know if that light's going to turn off. It's supposed to flicker. It's not just supposed to turn on and not turn off. John, I appreciate that too, sir. $4.99. You're a cent cheaper than Nick. Either way, they're freaking awesome, guys. Well, I don't really want that freaking light to stay on the whole time. That's a little annoying. I mean, I guess we can manually turn it off. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I appreciate it, guys. So we'll just get to it. I mean, John, you asked my honest thoughts and opinions on the DSR trigger, and I've wanted to do this for a while too. Since I've had this DSR for, like, you know, a couple of weeks here, I've wanted to do a live stream, but there's been some problems with getting hit by a car. You know? Oh well. My hip got all jacked up because I got hit by a car, and it's okay. We're okay. We're not even gonna talk about that. It's a long story. Okay. DSR Plus. So yeah, this thing's been out a couple weeks now. There's actually a review over on the YouTube channel. You don't have to like listen to my thoughts about this on the main channel, well, the channel you're watching this video on. Maybe. You could be watching this on the clip channel. The DSR review is out though. You can go find it. All you gotta do is search DSR review and I'm sure it will come up. We're gonna switch to this top-down camera. Exciting. Okay, DSR Plus. I'm actually gonna turn a light on right here. This light kind of helps add a little bit of light to this shot right here. Jacob, super chats. I appreciate it, guys. You're freaking awesome. DSR Plus. Okay, so yeah, you get this cool cardboard sleeve right there, you know. You could use it as a hat. I'm sure someone could use this as a hat. There's some information on the back there. These cases are nice though. I mean, these are typical cases we're kind of seeing on lots of paintball guns right now. I mean, like the Luxes come with them, you know, the Mac Dev guns, well, they come with a case that's kind of similar. So maybe there's not a lot of stuff, but definitely the die guns come with a case like that. We're gonna move that mouse over there. And inside of here, one of the things that I like that a lot of the companies are doing now is kind of shipping with these little quick start manuals. So instead of you having to, you know, get out your phone and fumble through a PDF or look through a big manual, they're just shipping with these, you know, little quick manuals that have some key information on them, some O-ring spots, and if you forget to change how to change the velocity, and if you forget how to turn your air on and off, you can look at the quick start manual or the startup guide, and it will tell you to do that. The Luxes come with those too. I like that little cool startup guide. They're coming with the die barrels. I don't even know what they're calling this thing. Back in the day, we would have called this the die ultralight, but I think die is calling it something else now. But the die two-piece barrel, all these die two-piece barrels, they're relatively all the same, unless it's that boomstick one or that GF barrel. Those are kind of neat. Okay, we get Allen wrenches. Yeah, Allen wrenches. A barrel cover, a really shitty barrel cover though, you know, like just like ultra cheap and just a black cheap barrel cover. I guess everyone just kind of has cheap barrel covers. Plenty of clips probably have the best factory barrel cover or whatever we're gonna call that. We're gonna try to like zoom in on that a little bit. It's kind of dark too, so we're gonna real time change camera settings. Okay, DSR Plus. So yeah, they're gonna get that thing. There's grease in there. You get the little USB dongle to change to update settings. You can actually change the boot screen on the back of there. Some O-rings. DSR Plus. So yeah, one of the things like John said in the chat earlier, he wanted to know about that trigger, and you know, I don't know really, like it's fine. I mean, you know, shooting the gun, it's not like dramatically different, you know, I don't struggle shooting it. It's not like I have problems using it, but it's certainly unique. I mean, you know, we're used to seeing triggers maybe more like that, you know, that are going kind of this way. I'll put that like that. Triggers that are kind of going that way versus this thing kind of like steps back at the bottom. I mean, the trigger still has that kind of angle on it, but it definitely tilts in at the bottom, which is a little weird. But holding it, yeah, it doesn't really like, you don't really have problems shooting it, you know? I can still hold it and it works perfectly fine. That swished a little quick. Yeah, I don't have any problems holding this thing, you know? The trigger is, while odd, and like I complain about it in my hands, you know? Triggers are always one of those things that like, I'm like, oh, Nick says, I believe it's called the core barrel. You know, it's right, it's like, it's really just an ultralight, just, you know, maybe it looks a little cheaper or something. Yeah, triggers are always something that I notice that like, if I'm standing around, you know, like I'm in the store or something like that, or I have my tank on it and I'm just like kind of messing around at home, I'm like, oh, man, this trigger could be a little bit better. You know, like, I'm like, oh, you know, you could make it 2% better. And I'm like, oh, just constantly messing with the things. But when I actually go play, I don't know, you know, notice it, right? Like, I could just take it out of the box and, for the most part, just go play, and it's not going to be any better or worse than if I sat there for like 3 hours messing with the trigger. So while like, I'm like, I don't know if I like it really all that much, actually playing with it, I don't know, who knows? It's not all that much different. So that trigger's funky looking, but I don't know, it doesn't really matter. The thing that I like the most about these is really just how quiet they are. I mean, going out and playing with it and shooting it. I mean, I always thought that like the Empire axes in the like mini GS could sometimes be like the quietest and the smoothest shooting guns. And this kind of reminds me of a really, really tuned or really like good working Empire axe or something in the way it shoots. It barely kicks and is extremely quiet. Most people probably aren't gonna like think that shooting like an axe is good. I mean, it definitely doesn't have that like weird double kind of like wonky sound that the axe has. This has a good solid shot sound. But the way it like kicks and stuff just reminds me a little bit of those. DSR Plus. It's pretty cool. I'm a fan. I still think though that like I was wondering this today. I'm like, someone's gonna definitely ask me if I would take, you know, the 170R or if I would use this. And I think if I could like, I think just use this and not have to worry about stuff, like somehow I had like 15, I don't know. Or it was like, you know, on a team that just could consistently give me stuff. Nick, another $5 super chat, dude. I appreciate it. Make that wonky sound. I don't even know what I did. I know I was trying to make the sound of an axe, but I don't even remember what happened. Oh no. Yep. Yeah, if I had like, you know, unlimited supply of these, or if I was like Nick Sloviak here and played for the Ironmen, a professional team that's sponsored by this company, I would like to shoot this, but I don't trust it, right? Like, it still has the eye pipe. There's still an eye pipe in there. You know, it's still got that plastic thing on the inside that people say doesn't ever break. You know, if you use it right, it never breaks, which for the most part's true, but you do have to think that the bolt is squeezing in and out of this plastic thing over and over and over and over and over. So at some point it's gonna wear and it's just gonna crack. And I don't like that, you know, like the Planet Eclipse guns, the, you know, Mac Dev guns even, they don't have that problem. They don't have an eye pipe or anything, so yeah. I don't really like the eye pipe. I don't really like the grips all that much. I just, over the long term, trust, I think, that 170R more, but I actually like the way that shoots more. But who cares how it shoots, you know? It's gotta work all the time. If it's not working all the time, then like... it's like, just bring a backup. I don't even like that idea, because do you want to have to deal with that? I don't want to deal with ever anything breaking. I don't want to have a backup, you know? I remember the good old days playing paintball and everything breaking. Everything. Nick keeps commenting on here. I know he's played for a very long time. He definitely remembers when paintball stuff sucked, right? Guns were breaking all the time. We were having problems with eyes not working. Sometimes eyes wouldn't work with certain color paint. You know, feed necks would break on hoppers all the time. And stuff just sucked. So nowadays, you know, my main, you know, thing is just having the most reliable paintball gun. I don't want to have to worry about like backups and all that stuff, you know? As well. Yeah, and they are going to make a mechanical frame for that. As booper, no stopper, bopper, no stopper? I don't know. Yeah, they are going to make a mechanical frame for that. We should probably see that hopefully by the end of the year. I mean, hopefully like Christmas time or something like that, we're able to get like the single trigger frame for this that will make it mechanical. And supposedly you'll be able to use the existing electronic board in it too to make like a single trigger electronic gun or something like that. Eyes and paint color. Yeah, back in the day, it really wasn't a problem with like the current type of eyes, right? Like right now we're using infrared. So like, I mean, it's just a reflective eye. It's just like a break beam eye. So literally like, you know, there's a laser going across there. And as soon as that laser gets like tripped or whatever, as soon as that ball falls in front of it, the paintball gun's like, you've got eyes or you've got a paintball there. But there used to be the old shockers, the old like shocker SFTs. I think the SFT only. The NXT, I believe, is when by that time they all had like laser eye. They all had like break beam eyes. But back in the day, the old shockers, they actually had an eye inside there that would detect light. So it was like if they call it a photo eye. So it just constantly was like just taking pictures technically and detecting light. And sometimes if you had like a funky colored paintball, like if you had like a white ball or like yellow or something like that, I don't really remember the colors, it just wouldn't work. You just couldn't see the paint well. And it wasn't like, oh, just don't use yellow. It was like a bunch of different colors. Like sometimes it just wouldn't work right. And sometimes you could get like light. There was actually problems I remember back in the day with light going down barrels and it like messing with the eyes. It was crazy. And we've kind of got rid of all those problems, right? We've gotten rid of a lot of those like weird, funky issues that used to take place all the time. Yeah. So it's very nice. Maybe it was dark shell. Someone said dark shell were bad. Maybe it was dark shell paint. I don't even remember. It was like a certain color that like just didn't work very well with didn't work well with shocker SFTs. It was crazy. It was crazy times. What else we got to do around here? Let's put this, I'm just gonna put this off the DSR, off the table. I kinda wanna use this too. This is one of those Virtue Spire 4s that came with the Virtue Ace. But this actual hopper was one of the like first ones they shipped, and it's got all these like weird spots on it. You can see how it's like the silver, the gold's like kind of coming off on the edge right there, and maybe there's some other spots, but it was definitely, I didn't even play with it like this. It was just like holding it and like the gold was just rubbing off. So I kind of want to play with this. I kind of, it's cool how it like matches. The trigger kind of matches the hopper and stuff. It's kind of neat. Oh, Dwight's mad. Someone's mad. Dwight's mad with caps. Send my shirts. Dwight Benz. Dwight, I don't know. You should got your shirts. I don't know what's happening. I couldn't tell you. I don't know what's going on. This is the first I've heard. You could email. Try emailing me and then I'll look into it, or I'll look into it when we're done with this. I don't know. This is not the time, unfortunately. Porter. $5 super chat. I appreciate that, sir or ma'am. Dwight shirts. I definitely shipped. I don't know. I can't do that right now. It's hard for me to just look into really quickly. I can later. Nick, Brad, you ever shot OTB frame back in the day? I don't even know what that is. Off the break frame? I don't know. For the Impulse Matrix Shocker Bushmaster. I don't even know. I'm not even sure. You did email me. When did you email me? Let's find out. I mean, I don't know what to really search for. I could search for Dwight. You did email me. Whoa, a long time. You emailed me 3 days ago. I totally missed it. Well, I'm gonna make We're gonna move that back to the inbox so it marks it as new. Dude, I don't know what happened. I actually didn't see this. I will figure it out later. Well, when I'm done with this, we'll figure it out. I don't know. Definitely stuff shipped separate though. So if anyone ever buys anything from the store, you're definitely gonna ship. So some of this stuff is kind of like made on demand. So like, those aren't made on demand. There's a ton of barrel covers and headbands around here. So if anyone ever buys like a barrel cover from Paintball Ruin My Life store, I ship those as well as headbands. But like hats and stuff, ship from a different place. Yep, you can buy all that stuff right here. The Paintball Ruin My Life store. We're gonna do a little plug while we're at it. We might as well, if this will work. Gee whiz, that's me right there. So yeah, you can find paintballruinmylife.com/shop. You can find a link in the description of this. There's all kinds of headbands on there. You can get this all over print headband. This page is all cached. These thumbnails are not cached right. All over print with Paintball Ruin My Life logos all over it. There's a Explorer headband. I wear that one too. Yep. Headbands, there's obviously, like you saw me wearing, hats in there. Paintball Ruin My Life hats and beanies. I was wearing this one in a video today. Yep. There's me staring at the ground. Looking very unexcited. Paintball Ruin My Life store, and everything over $30 ships for free. And you're helping me pay for bills. Yep. Yeah. James 55 with a $10 super chat. Man, I want this light thing to work. James, I appreciate that. We did have the cool, like, light thing was working, and then, like, I don't know what happened. Got messed up. We had a cool super chat light blink. I don't know. So last time we did a live stream, we talked about like some old paintball magazines. We could do that again if you guys want to look at some old magazines. I thought that was kind of fun. But then I was like, man, I wonder if like a lot of people are like, man, this is lame. Oh, look, my car loan was processed. That's nice. Gotta buy my car. Drew wants to know if should buy DSR Plus, Shocker Amp, or Planet Eclipse 170R. Well, personally, I'd buy the 170R. I just trust that company more. You know, like long term, 5 years from now, I'm gonna trust that I'm gonna have fewer problems with the DSR Plus than I would with the amp. Or I'm sorry, I would have fewer problems with the 170R than I would the DSR Plus or amp. But that doesn't mean that like those are bad guns, you know? It's like you gotta choose one of them, right? So I'd choose the Planet Eclipse one. I think that like on paper, some of these guns might look cooler, right? Like you might see that the amp or the DSR have like maybe some neater features. Like maybe the screen's better on the amp or the DSR. I personally think the DSR shoots really nice. I really like the grips on the DSR. Some people like the amp because it's so lightweight and small, but I'm still choosing the 170R just because it's so reliable. Okay, we'll look at some magazines, but I don't remember which one we looked at last time. Okay. So what the heck was that? Look, we had, let's see. So those are the two that I have. I don't have a lot here. Like, that's a wicked ass glare too. Gee whizzard. Look at that. Doesn't this feel like, it feels kind of cool. Maybe this is better with it off. There's just so much glare. We're gonna make it a little darker. Kong Gong. There we go. Okay, so what do we have here? Let's see what we're doing. We have APG. I'm gonna make that a little wider so I can like pick this up and hold it. So, APGs. This is from. What the hell's the date? January 1998. So this is before I started playing paintball. Man, that's crazy. From 98. Oh wait, hold on. I just remember something else. Damn. I found some baseball. My. Oh well, I don't know. Whatever. Okay, 1998. This is a very old one. So yeah, this is before I even started playing paintball. Freaking crazy. I feel like it's all like I should be like holding. I should have gloves on because it's like delicate. So that's kind of funny. There's some crazy. I'm gonna zoom in. It makes it easier for people to see. Marbleizer. That's Marbleizer Cobalt. Not the classic green Marbleizer. Polar Ice. Polar Ice was a winter paintball. It's the penguins. And you know, when you're in Antarctica or maybe in South Africa, they also have penguins. Yep, that's not too exciting. This might not be too exciting. I mean, this is the time, like 98 was like this weird time, right? Everything was like just becoming new, and kind of, yeah, that's sort of when speedball stuff was starting to get popular. So it's this like weird transition phase. And the whole reason I left it on this page is because that guy's name's Dave DeHaan. Dave DeHaan, also known as Dave Youngblood. Dave Youngblood started Dye Paintball. So he actually started Dye Paintball. Dye Paintball actually stands for Dave Youngblood Enterprises. Yep, that's that guy. Now you know that. A bunch of cool JT stuff. People would probably pay good money for those today. Those little JT straps. You would definitely pay money for that. Oh, those are cool. There's Dave again. I used to have one of these cotton JT jerseys, but it was actually an older one. It was like, yeah, it was like weirdly, I don't know, it was even more 80s. JT stuff, all these articles. We're not gonna read articles. So here's something interesting. Here's equipment prices. I always like this because you get like an idea of like what stuff is like. Bob Long autocockers. I had one of those like 5 or 6 years ago. There you go. There's a Vector. That thing's $2,500. I don't even know what that is. No, it's $250. I'm sorry. That's why I was like, I don't even know what the hell that is. Definitely not. $250. There's a cool STO autococker package. That's $700 with a 20-ounce CO2 tank. So this was kind of before electric guns. I mean, there were some electric guns, like I believe. I mean, you could buy like an Angel LED at this time. There were the shockers you could buy, but most everybody, there's a bunch of old autococker parts. Mostly everybody was still using autocockers and automags. That's kind of why like Splat Attack here just has a bunch of freaking automags and autocockers. And we got automag. That's not an automag. Automag, cocker, automag, cocker, you know. Lots of cockers and automags. That looks like a Vector. Are those like MagFed or something? The TS1. I don't know. I'm not even sure what the hell that is. Maybe I have seen one of these before. That just looks crazy. Look at that like wild, like under hopper feeder system. It like, you got magazine right here, and then you got a hopper, and it kind of like feeds into the magazine, it looks like. Yeah, I've definitely seen one of these, but definitely not with that thing on there. That's crazy. Wild. Making the crawl. Crawling. Crawling. See, this is kind of going to be lame. I think the ones that are more fun to look at are like... Oh, there's some old stuff. I think the ones that are kind of... Ooh, Renegade stuff. This is all pretty cool. I had those when I first started playing. I used those Renegade knee pads. Damn, look at those sweatshirts. Woo! Dang, those are so cool. Shit. Oh, that's awesome. There you go. There's a shocker. Yeah. Keely Watson, she was paintball famous for a while there. I don't know, let's see if we can... There's going to be a bunch of people in these pictures, probably. Dan Colby, he's a big deal. It's the only person in there. Check It Products. Yeah, see, I don't know. These old ones are just kind of lame, right? Because they're just like, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's kind of lame because it's like none of the stuff that, like, you know, I didn't use any of this stuff really. So it's like, I'm definitely like drawn more to like these, the like, you know, stuff that's a little newer. So did we? I can't remember. Is this the one we looked at or not? I don't believe so. Nope. Ooh, look at that Matrix. Look at that DM4. I had one of those. I actually had that color too. And I had another color. I had like the cobalt fade. It was one of the first colors. It was really cool. It was really, really sweet. It was awesome. So this is 2004. So this is going to be March 2004. This is going to be... The reason I kind of find these ones a little more interesting is because there's people in this that are still around, right? Like Miko. I don't know what the heck he's doing, but he's still around. Chris Lasoya. He's still around. I honestly don't remember. If we looked at this magazine last time, someone let me know. There's the old Smart Parts teams. We have Philadelphia All-Americans, Strange in Dynasty. Lame. CP stuff. That was a big deal for a while there. CP, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what this is all about. Well, Spider bought 3 pages, 3 ads, 1, 2, just to do that. It doesn't even say anything. Four pages. 6 pages. That's crazy. Crazy. Miko again. There's Rennick. There are definitely going to be some old pictures in this because this is like, you know, History of Paintball magazine or whatever. There's that die barrel. These all sucked. I hated those guns. Yep, hated those things. They never worked. Goddamn hate E-blades. E-blades are the worst. Electric cockers. An electric cocker was just such a bad idea. I did not like the electric auto cocker. These were some of the best packs though. I mean, they were so durable and thick and just well made, those Reds packs. Although I imagine if like Reds came out with these today, like if a paintball company did these now, everyone would be like, oh, they're so thick and heavy, those are awful. Everyone would complain. You can't put ladies in magazines like this now either. Unfortunately. Look at that guy. That's Matt Marshall. Huh. Oh, JP. Matt Marshall. You guys should know Matty Marshall. He does the webcast for GoSports. Impulse. So an Impulse, and the Impulse was one of those guns we were talking about, guns that had photo eyes that didn't really work. The eyes were kind of sketchy. That's what that like big ass ribbon thing is across the top there. That's where that eye sat, that photo eye. They were terrible. The Extreme Matrix. Wow, look at that. New York Extreme with that same exact logo. Look at that. That logo is exactly the same as the one they're still using today. That's cool. the Extreme Matrix. People probably pay a pretty penny for one of those things. There's one of those shockers. That shocker had that stupid photo eye too. It was weird. The Evil Omen. There is Alex Lindquist, played for Joy Division, Russian Legion? Maybe like Philly Americans too, I don't know. Keely Watson, I don't know who she played for. That was the time when there were definitely not a lot of women playing paintball, so there were not a lot of women teams. I want to say Femme Fatales were probably the only all-female paintball team. I don't know. There's Philly. That's Jason Trojan. Jason Trojan is pretty much in charge of, I think he's the ultimate or like head ref with the NXL. If I believe so, anyway. I don't know who that is or what's going on there. The Proto Switch. Those weren't bad. They weren't bad masks. All these evil things. This was all pretty terrible. None of this stuff ever worked. I mean, these evil regs were shitty. These barrels weren't any good. These inline regs were terrible. Oh, look at that. A note. There's Dave Youngblood again. Team Swarm. There's some old stuff. I get real close on that one to see. Ladies with shirts off again. I don't know. Oh, Tauntauns. Old school Tauntauns. Bob on. Man. Old Aftershock. Mike Bruno. The Scion. You could put it up to 5,000. There was a while there where there were a couple tanks that you could put to 5,000. Can you put that to 5,000? Yep. 5,000. There were some like pure energy tanks they were filling. You could fill to 5,000, but no one, you know, ran the compressor that high. So V-balls. Remember those? They're just like Velcro. You can shoot targets. Cousin's paintball ad. Sunday drivers and push. So I did try. I said a long time ago that I wanted to try to do like a live stream, like of Push, like the movie Push, and then have me do like commentary or something like that over it. I thought that might be kind of cool. I emailed Patrick Spohr to see if he would be cool with it. I have not heard back from him. Although email sucks, so I might try a different method to see if he's okay with that. But I do want to try to do that. I think it'd be kind of interesting. Because Push was like... There's Philly again. Right? Or Strange, I'm sorry. Jason Trojan. Rich Telford. Jeez, Rich played for Strange? I've totally forgotten that. Crystal Soya standing around. Philly Americans. See, I was probably at one of these tournaments, right? I don't know. Was Intimidator. Old stuff. The Fun Expo. So this is what whatchamacallit turned into. The Fun Expo turned into, I don't know. What am I trying to think? Paintball Expo, but then Paintball Expo turned into Paintball Extravaganza. I like these, it's funny. It's good. So let's look at these teams. So some of these teams, let's see. Oh man, PSP PSP 2003 X-Ball Division 2 rankings. So I honestly can't remember if I played Division 2 in this year or if we played Division 3. I mean, I don't know. Man, who knows? I don't even know. I don't know. This was what year is this? Or when is this? March? I get my years mixed up. I can't remember 2003, 2004, 2005. I don't know. I get it all confused. Division 2. Why is there no Division 3? That's weird. There's like no... I don't know. Odd. There's like Division 1, because Division 1 was pretty much pro. They definitely had Division 3. What the heck? I don't know. Anyway, well, that's exciting. Okay, I don't know. The whole thing's done. Gone and done through. What should we talk about? I'm all out of ideas. Evil was hella good. Why hate on Evil? Because they were terrible. I mean, what'd they make that was good? You know? I mean, really, that barrel kit, I mean, the barrel's a barrel, and I don't think those pipe kits were ever good. Definitely those regulators sucked. For sure. And the Evil Omen was terrible. Right? I mean, one thing you gotta think about, too, is like, when I say that, that's because I worked at the paintball store and we sold everything, right? And we were fixing everything and all kinds of that stuff. So like, I don't know, yeah. Definitely my favorite paintball movie is Push, for sure. The pepper stick, yeah, that's true. Those Reds barrels were really bad. Yeah, they were really bad. That's when Reds tried to start to make hard parts, right? They made that like grenade on-off, right? Was that Reds? I think it was Reds. Virtue Contour or Push Unite? I would choose the Push Unite. I think that it's just more breathable, that's all. Honestly though, if I were to choose like a new style mask, like one of the more modern, cool ones, I would probably buy the Bunker King Command or the CMD. That's probably what I would do, is buy one of those things. I would either buy the CMD or the new HK Army, that SLR. I really like the SLR. So I don't truly know. How about NXE packs? What about NXE packs? NXE packs were good. Everyone used NXE packs. Everybody, man, everybody used NXE packs. Nowadays, there's like so many different harnesses, right? I mean, Bunker King and HK and Empire and Falcon and GI. Falcon and GI don't make packs really, but carbon packs. There's so many packs out there, right? And back in the day, it was like everybody just used NXE packs. It was like Reds packs from probably like 98 to like 2003. And then everybody after that, 2003 to probably like 2007, used NXE packs. And then it was a free-for-all. And then more companies started making good stuff, and there were lots of them. My friend just got the EVS, and wow, the reverb is bad, Nick says. You know, I never noticed that. I think that, I guess I do notice it when people point it out, but if I'm actually like just wearing the thing, I don't even notice. But it is true though. Then I put the Proflex on and I'm like, wow, this is considerably nicer. Unique packs. That was even before the red stuff though, right? I mean, the unique stuff was like mid 90s. I mean, the red stuff probably made the unique stuff not as popular. And unique was even before me too. I mean, that was way before me. Not way, probably like 10 years. 5? I don't know. Somewhere in there. The EVS is super comfy. Yeah, they're alright. I don't like how big they are. They're just so big. It feels like they're just big for no reason almost. Like, I mean, I guess not no reason. It's for protection, but I don't know. They're just big. Just big. Something else I want to do. We were talking about like old magazines. And Push just reminded me of that really. Is I want to get like some of the old guns. Like I really would like to be able to get like an old Intimidator, right? Like I really want to get like a 2K2 Intimidator and like do a review on a 2K2, or like get like a Matrix like that and do a review on a Matrix. I think it'd be fun. Kind of like talk about like why it was cool back in the day, or what we thought was neat about it, and like problems that they had, or something like that. I think it'd be kind of fun. Mainly because I look at some of these old guns and I'm like, man, they're so cool. The i5. I always forget about the i5. Well, I do forget about the i5, mainly because I don't really like it that much. I think that the i5 is super comfortable. It's probably one of the more comfortable masks. I really like that Pro strap, the adjustability of that strap. But I just can't breathe. I mean, the same thing, right? Like it just doesn't breathe as well, you know? So it's like, I gotta breathe. So I'm still picking, you know, that CMD, the Push masks, the Unite, or the SLR breathe considerably better than the may not considerably better, but they definitely breathe better than the i5. Yeah. I'm probably gonna get one. I'm probably not an i5. I'm probably gonna get a CMD. Yeah. Or you know what came out the other day? We can go BlackFridayPaintball.com. Let's see if they got the new E-Flex. Oh, they did. I already saw it. See, they just released this the other day. The TerraPat. It's $115 though. The TerraPat E-Flex. I might get this. I kind of have a version of that. I kind of have like, where's my E-Flex? I mean, I don't, well, I shouldn't say like I kind of have a version of it. It's kind of like, you know, different than that, but sorta. So I have an E-Flex. I mean, E-Flex is still, I think, you know, one of my favorite masks. But I have the old TerraPat goggle frame on there. But this thing's smoked, right? Like it needs everything, right? Like I mean, the bottom's bad, the skirt's not bad, but the goggle strap is dead. I need a strap. The foam's coming off. I've re-glued the foam a couple times. The ears are starting to like get weird and peel and get all funky. Like this one's starting to get all weird. So I'm definitely in need of a mask, and I keep thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know what I want to get. I don't know if I want to just get a, you know, another E-Flex or whatever, because I do like them. I mean, they breathe so well that I like the things, but I kind of want to get something new. You know, I've been using like these old style masks, like this ProFlex and, you know, E-Flex for so long. I just want to get something that's a little bit more modern and newer. So I don't know. It might be that. And I need everything, you know. It doesn't make sense for me to buy like foam, a goggle strap, and new ears. I mean, by that point, it's like, you know, $70 or something like that. And it's like, ugh, it's so close to like almost just getting a new mask. I might as well just buy a whole new mask. But I really hate that. I just don't want to. I don't know. Maybe we'll. I don't know. I don't know. Every time I go to the paintball store, I'm like, I should get a mask. I look at them all. I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't really need a mask. And then I always use my cameras. I'm always shoving my GoPro, you know, right in the front of it. I shove the GoPro literally in my mask to get like cool first-person footage. And I don't know. I don't want to try another mask like and it not really work as well, since I know the E-Flex and the ProFlex work so well. It's weird. Yep. What mask should I buy to start paintballing? Well, I don't know. It depends, right? I mean, it's obviously there's a big, huge gap in pricing. I mean, there's stuff that's $30 to $200, so it kind of matters. I think that the sweet spot for stuff is probably around that $100 price. And I don't know, if I'm gonna recommend like 2 good value masks, I'd probably say, for me personally, the JT ProFlex is what I would go with. The next best inexpensive one, I don't know, maybe the Virtue Vio Ascend. I mean, those are about $115 though, so they definitely start to like tick up into that higher price. But the Ascend and the ProFlex are probably the 2 I would go with. Yeah, probably that, right? Yep. I don't know, let's see. Let's just go over to Black Friday's website and see what they got. All products. I haven't used this. This is their brand new website too, so it should be a little bit easier. The Helix. Yeah, the Empire Helix. This is the Helix. They should have Helixes. The Heli. They're not bad. I mean, yeah, the Helix isn't bad. I mean, it depends though. That's why I was like, it depends, right? Like, I'm not gonna buy a Helix. You know, I think it's worth spending the extra $50 to get like something that I really like. And I always forget about profilers. I even have a freaking profiler back there. I think that the Profiler is probably the mask that I would go with if I want to, like, you know, budget it up. Well, actually, I don't know. ProFlex. I still choose the JT ProFlex. ProFlex, then probably the Profiler. Let's see, what if we go to the site and go goggles and then just... I kind of like this. This is nice. Maybe a little, maybe the thumbnails are a little too big. Testing stuff out. Randy, I appreciate that super chat so very much. Can you circle back later? I'm a new player, paintball player. Can you please explain why drop forward is not a thing anymore? Absolutely. Let's look at masks. There we go. I didn't mean to hit that. Yeah, I'll talk about that. Let's look at masks real fast. I want to like look at like the cheapest, best mask on this website. Price lowest to highest. Those are not masks. Those would be what we would call mask accessories. Can I like add more items or anything cool like that? Look at that. Only 48. Good lord. Junior, I don't know about this organization. Okay, so those are probably the best cheap masks. The base GSO, I would say. I would probably, but these are the non-fog ones. You don't want those ones. The base GSO is, that's right. There's the thermal version. They're 45 versus the Helixes are 55. So you can get a, God, there's just so many masks on here. That's not what I wanted to do. You can do that. It's just free. I was hoping there'd just be masks. Not all this stuff. Well, this is also confusing. So let's. So these are probably, I would say, the 2 best inexpensive thermal masks. You're gonna get the Carbon OPR. So the Carbon actually purchased base. So now they're all carbon masks. It's the Carbon OPR. They're good. They're very big, so it's a really tall mask. So when I actually used this, I was like hitting my tank on my gun, and it was kind of, or my mask, and it was kind of annoying. Yeah, they breathe pretty good. They're not bad. I mean, for 45 bucks, it's not bad. But I really, for $60, when you can get a profiler or a ProFlex for $60, I would much more recommend the profilers over, yeah, any of the base or carbon masks. I mean, look, this thing's 65 bucks. It's sold out, but it's $65, you know? That's very good. I really like them. They're very breathable. It's lightweight. It's simple. I don't know why I'm just going off on mask talk right now. Randy asked with a super chat question. You guys ask super chat questions? You're gonna answer every time. What'd you ask? You said, can we circle back later? We are absolutely can. Can you explain why drop forwards are no longer a thing? So, that's fairly easy. let's just do this. So drop forwards have always been kind of stupid, right? They've never made sense. I'll explain it. Like, it's always kind of stupid, right? I mean, for a very long time, it's like, you know, you're playing paintball and we're like, let's try to get as small as we can, right? You want your like overall body to be small, right? You don't want to be like huge because you just get shot easy. So it made sense to like, you know, make the paintball gun smaller, right? Let's like compress the paintball gun and let's move the tank forward and like just kind of cram everything in there, right? Which sounds like a good idea, right? You're like, okay, well, you know, it makes it smaller, right? You're making the tank smaller. You're making the gun smaller, right? But it doesn't make any sense, right? Because when we're doing that, right, you're moving this tank here. So from the side, you're bigger, which is, you know, whatever. We're not getting shot from the side, so it really doesn't matter. Ooh, we got a blinking light. And the light turned off. Porter. World Cup predictions. We'll do that too. First, tanks. So yeah, right, when you're getting shot from the side, your gun's bigger, right? If you move the tank here, it just makes this whole thing kind of like just bigger, right? But that doesn't really matter, so I'm talking about that. Really, what I don't think makes any sense is when we're moving the tank down to the bottom, you're not really making the profile any smaller, right? Because you're still shooting at people from the front. So even if you put the tank here, it's still here, right? Your profile in the front ends up bigger. My explanation of this is weird. I don't know why I haven't talked about drop forwards in so long. Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's not really making anything smaller. I mean, your profile from the front is still, you know, that slice. And it's so much more stable, right? I mean, when we're moving that tank forward, when you go to like shoot and stuff, you're like awkward, right? It's all funky, right? And you're still small from the front, right? It's still this size. But if I make the tank longer, I'm not really like exposing myself more, right? You know, if I make the gun longer, from the front, I'm still like the same size. So making the gun longer doesn't really like change my profile. I'm not gonna get shot, but it certainly makes it considerably more stable. You know, like I can come out and shoot at stuff more and whatever. It's just so much easier, you know? It's like there's a reason why like rifles and stuff have stocks. It's really just because you can shoot them easier, you know? It helps the recoil a little bit, but it makes you just way more stable. And when you pull the thing like this, you're like, how the heck do you like, how do you do that, you know? And like, how do you run with it like this? Your arms are all like smushed together and it's super awkward. Yeah. So it's kind of why drop forwards went away. They just don't make sense. It was like, yeah, you make the gun like smaller from the side, kinda, right? It's not as long, but like you're not getting shot at from the side all that much, and you're not like changing the front profile, you know? So I don't know. That's kind of why. It's mainly just because they don't make sense, you know? You see how fast people are playing now, like running and shooting and all that stuff, and it just wouldn't be possible with these big, weird, tall, crazy things. Yeah. That was a very weird explanation. I feel like it was very wonky. Normally when I'm at the store explaining that, it takes like 2 minutes and it's like, oh, okay. I don't know. Porter wants World Cup predictions. I appreciate the super chat. And Andy, what'd you say? All the weight of the marker is then in your hands and not spread out. I don't know though, right? Like, you know, technically, right? If we moved, this is spreading the weight out more, moving this tank back, you know? If you move the tank forward, it's like the center of mass is like more in the middle. I don't know if that's good or not, you know? It is very weird though. When you hold these guns with drop forwards, they feel like very like, ooh, like very, very like, not like, ooh, you hold it in your hand and it's very not stable. It's like this thing when you put, you know, I guess it does make it a little bit more like evened out, right? Because you're moving like the tank back and you have the hopper here. So it's kind of like balancing itself out, but I don't know. It's mainly performance-wise, right? Like, it's just so much easier to like do everything with these longer guns, right? Trust me. I remember back in the day when I had a huge ass drop forward on an autococker, and it's like, man, it's just weird. This doesn't make any sense. It's so awkward. Porter, you want a World Cup predictions? I don't know yet. I truly have no idea. I don't know. You know, normally I'm always like, I mean, it's kind of lame, right? You're like, well, let's go to NXL Paintball. It's always kind of lame though, because it's always just like the best teams, right? You know, it's not going to be like, oh, Level's going to win. You know, that's not going to happen. So where's like season standings? That's not what I want. Where's like rankings? Oh, there it goes. This is a big ass banner on the top. Yeah, so it's like, who, wow, Infamous is in third, Infamous is in second place. That's crazy. I guess they did get a second and a third. I always forget about that, man. That's crazy. Huh. But it's difficult, right? It's like, who's gonna win? You know, I don't know. Impact's gonna win, Dynasty, Heat, X Factor, Russian Legion. It's like, those are probably the teams that are gonna win. Maybe not Russians though, they've had some hard times this year. I mean, getting all their players over here and everyone playing well has not been so easy for them. I don't know. I don't know. I wish I had an answer for you. I don't know. It's difficult. I don't know. I think that we kind of have to, before you like really kind of say prediction stuff, I always like to like do it but right before the event. When I used to do live streams every like Tuesday and Thursday night, I would always do like Thursdays before the tournament. I'd always do predictions, but I don't know. And you kind of have to wait until then because we want to see the layout, and then maybe people aren't playing. You know, some people aren't having, you know, some people don't have players yet, or some people might not have all their players playing. You know, like Impact. I mean, they're missing every single player almost this year. I mean, half their team is all just stuck in Canada. So who knows? Drew Young asks, is paintball dying out as a sport? I don't know. I think you could ask literally every sport on the planet people think is dying. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. People have asked and have been saying paintball has been dying since the 90s. I don't know. We're still here playing it. So I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Don't know. Definitely this year, paintball's increased. I mean, certainly during COVID, numbers like tripled. I don't know if they're gonna like, if a lot of those people might not like continue to play paintball forever, but I presume, you know, that at least some of them are gonna continue to play. I don't know. Someone said about a pro division. What do you think is getting the bump out? Oh, who do I not? What? Can't read. I don't know. I mean, we looked at that. I was thinking about that. They were talking about that last tournament about pro teams getting kicked out, and I mean, so far AC Dallas is dead last. I don't know. Because there's 3 teams that are pretty bad, right? Like AC Dallas is pretty bad this year, the ML Kings are pretty bad, and DMG is pretty bad. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I think that it's weird that AC kind of have 2 teams, so it'd probably be kind of cool if one of them went away, like AC Dallas just go play semi-pro now, which is weird. It's kind of weird how there's AC Diesel and AC Dallas. So maybe AC Dallas just going away, and then importing, I don't know, who's really good in semi-pro? I don't even know. I mean, we have Blast Camp is really good. Yeah, Blast Camp's in second. Hurricanes are in first. Oh, wow. the New Orleans Hurricanes, and then there's also just the Hurricanes, which is confusing. The newbies are good. I don't know. It's always difficult because when these teams bump up from semi-pro to pro, it's more than just being good, right? It's a lot of stuff. Mindless says Blast Camp is at 100% going pro. I don't know if they've talked about that stuff yet. I actually have no idea. I haven't really been keeping track. But even then, right, if they ask the Hurricanes or Blast Camp or the newbies or whoever it is, there's a lot to that, right? It's not just being good. I mean, you have to be able to like commit to practices, right? You have to be like, we gotta practice, 8 days, 8 whole days, 6 days before the tournament, right? We gotta be able to practice those 3 weekends. We have to like try to travel to practice, right? You can't just stay home. You gotta go play other pro teams. So there's a lot more money. There's a lot more dedication involved. It's way more difficult, right? I mean, these teams that like do well in semi-pro very, very, very seldomly are able to do anything in the pro division. I mean, a lot of the times it takes years for them to get to like average, right? I mean, if we look at the top pro teams, right? It's Impact, Infamous, Dynasty, Heat, X Factor, Legion, Damage. Those are the top 7 teams. And then you do have Aftermath in that 8th spot, and then Revo, and then Thunder. So those top teams, those top 10 teams, all those teams have been pro for like 10-something years, right? They've all been around for a very long time and all have very old and experienced players. So even though like, the Hurricanes and Blast Camp and all those teams are really good, going up to the pro division kind of sucks, right? Like, I mean, you come from winning and having fun to just getting your ass kicked, right? I mean, there's no question that if Blast Camp goes pro, they might win some matches, right? But the majority of the time when they play Heat, Impact, and Dynasty, and Red Legion and X Factor, they're gonna get smoked. And that sucks. It definitely sucks when you're used to winning all the time. It's really difficult. So I don't know. We'll see. Astra, their last performance at the Astra event really showed. I actually haven't even really watched those Astra things. I've watched a couple of them. The Astra event's also different, right? The Astra event is not NXL. For sure. Especially World Cup. Like, World Cup's crazy. Like, when you hear teams talk about, like, winning World Cup and it's like a big deal and like, oh, we won World Cup and it's so hard. It really is. It's very odd how like, if you go to like a normal tournament, like a normal NXL tournament, and then like you go play like the NXL or like, never mind. So like say you play NXL like Vegas or NXL Chicago or whatever, and then you go to World Cup and play, I don't know why, but it's always like 15 to 10% harder. 15 to 20% is what I meant to say. I don't know why. It's just people come to play hard and it seems more serious and like everyone seems faster and everything's just more at World Cup. So it's definitely difficult to win any of these tournaments. And especially World Cup. I don't know why I really brought up World Cup. I mean, I guess we were kind of talking about it. And it says World Cup huge on that screen right there. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I wish they would make franchise fields. What do you mean? What do you mean by that? Like kind of like here, Capital Edge Paintball Park is close to here. That's where DMG plays. You mean kind of like you'd wish they'd make like home, like DMG practice facility, or I don't know, something like that, and like promote it more? I think that'd be cool. Back in the day, they were gonna have when the NXL first started, when the National X-Ball League first started a long time ago, it was gonna be its own standalone pro division and pro league, right? And it was only gonna be professionals. I think there were like 10, 12 teams or something like that, and it was only pro, and it was only on this one field, and it was like super exclusive. You had to be like invited. You had to like actually buy a franchise, I think. So originally, the NXL was only going to be those pro teams. And the idea was to have like a pro arenas at like specific fields, right? So like there were 12 teams, right? So the real arching goal was to have 12 different like paintball arenas at the like practice facility or wherever. So like say here, like DMG would at Capital Edge Paintball maybe have like the like NXL TV arena or whatever. And that's where they would have the NXL Pro webcast. That was supposed to be the idea, and all the teams would the teams would travel to play events and stuff, so there wouldn't necessarily be a tournament. It'd be like, DMG's playing Impact tonight. You know, stuff like that. It was going to be more real sportish. I think sort of like Astra's doing, sort of how Astra's releasing just a match a week or whatever like that. The idea was to have audience and all that stuff, just like a normal sporting event. I got a mask in my pocket. Should I wear a mask? Should I wear a mask when I'm talking? It's the first time I've ever worn a mask in a video. I think that in California, they were talking about like getting rid of mask mandates. I don't know. Some places you gotta wear a mask, some places you don't. I think state location has a lot to do with team performance. Does it? I don't know. It's kind of hard to say. It probably does. I mean, it's. I don't know where. It's hard to say with the pro teams though, you know, because the pro teams are just whatever, right? Like, I mean, the top teams from Canada, you know, like I don't know, you know. And then Infamous says they're from Los Angeles, but they're from all over the place. And Dynasty is San Diego. Heat's from all over the place, you know. Those teams are weird. The divisional teams, though, for sure, like the semi-pro teams, getting able to practice a lot, you know, if you live in good weather, like Hurricanes are from New Orleans. I don't know where Blast Camp guys are from. I think Texas. I don't know. But yeah, certainly, depending on weather, I mean, you know, like California, right? In February here, it's like, you know, 50 degrees outside. Whereas, you know, the guys from Indianapolis, they're not going to go play that much when it's February. So, yeah, it can certainly matter. I think they always talk about that, like the first tournament of the year, right? Like it's in March or something like that. And they're like, well, the Ironman and Dynasty have been playing for like 4 or 5 weeks now, and you know, teams like the Outlaws that are from Indiana, they haven't been playing as much, so they don't get to like play outside, and like they don't get the same feeling of playing paintball as Dynasty or, you know, the Ironman do or whatever. For sure. Are there any pro teams in Mass? Not Blast Camp, Northern Illinois. Well, it's certainly cold where they're from. Northern Illinois is cold. There's technically no teams from Massachusetts, but Baltimore Revo, I mean, the Revo guys have a lot of there's a lot of Northeastern Revo guys that live in that whole area. I mean, Revo, New York Extreme has probably got some guys that live close there, but I don't think there's any there's no real Massachusetts guys, yeah. Baltimore Revo is probably going to be said closest. The Axe 2.0 has an OLED board and the Etha does not. That is true. It's very true. Hook and Bass Fishing said, which do you prefer, the Empire 2.0, I'm gonna presume the Axe 2.0, and the Etha 2? I like the Etha 2. I prefer the way the Etha 2 shoots, and I really like the way it feels. It's quite a bit larger, and I kind of like that feeling. The Axe is all like a little mini thing in my hand, so I don't like how small it is. Jason, You said examples like Dutch Brothers, a set field standard. I have no idea what that means. You know what I think is the stupidest thing about Dutch Brothers? Dutch Brothers, the name of the company is Dutch Brothers Coffee, right? They don't sell coffee. This is the craziest shit ever. Like, they just don't sell coffee. You have to get like crazy super caramel drinks. It's like, you can't just get black coffee. It's so weird. I find that the oddest thing ever. It was like 3:30 in the morning, and I was like, I gotta eat coffee. Literally everywhere is closed. I was like, Dutch Brothers is open. But Dutch Brothers Coffee does not serve coffee. So weird. So weird. Boozy the Clown, that's a long one. I think weather is one thing. We have had cold and hot states forever. It's true. I won't mention it again, but there is more going on than just locations the past couple of years. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't want to watch California versus Florida versus Texas. You mean like the teams? Like the pro teams? I don't know. But that's what I was saying about like Infamous, right? It's like Infamous says they're from Los Angeles, but not a single player on their team lives in LA. You know? It's just back in the day, they were like, you know, I don't know, Los Angeles Infamous, you know. Like, none of their players live in LA. Almost, though, you know, like, COVID laws. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not against anyone. I don't watch the news. I don't partake in all this stupid shit that tries to like make me think that you guys are dumb or make you think I'm dumb. Yeah, so we just think that's stupid. But either way, it relates to paintball too, because the pro teams, California, Texas, and Florida, I mean, they're almost all, like all the good ones. Like, all the good ones are from California, Texas, or Florida. I mean, except the Impact. But we have California, Texas, Russia, Florida, California. And then you get the Northeast, you get Oregon, you get another Texas, New York. I don't know, Energy are like from the South. I don't even know where they're from. California, yeah, it's just all California, Florida, Texas teams for the pro division. It's funny. Mm-hmm. It's great. I don't know. Boozy the Clown said, no, he was saying like, if your field insert state shuts down because it is not legal to run it for a year, does that not make a difference? I don't know. I don't know of any paintball fields that shut down. Do you know of any paintball fields that closed during COVID? I mean, I guess there's probably some, right, that chose to just close. I mean, but you know, that's different. I don't think that, as far as I know, I mean, maybe, I think that LA County Impact Action in Oregon closed. Because I definitely none here closed. Like I was, you know, I played paintball all the way through COVID, right? For sure. So I don't know if any closed in California, but I have no idea what's happening anywhere else. I don't know. I have no clue. There were definitely tournaments during COVID. I'm curious what fields would, because I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sure there's gotta have been some, I don't know, whatever. But it's not like there were like all the paintball fields closed. Because that's why, like, that's one of the reasons paintball did so well during COVID, is because it was like the only thing to do. Like, literally everything closed, and they're like, oh, you can go play paintball. Just because it was outside, you know, just by default, they're just like, well, you're outside. And we were like, well, you gotta wear masks. It's like, well, we gotta make holes in our masks. It's not like, the masks don't do anything. Yes, Skater Pug. That's an old comment, but you said wasn't Infamous originally Miami Effect? Yep, for sure. That's kind of where like the yellow came from, because yeah, their original yellow and black old school jerseys, or whatever. They were yellow and black. The light actually works. Jordan Sparks, I appreciate the super chat. So much, guys. It's very helpful. Makes me not upset I did this. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, one thing that it's just crazy. Remember how COVID, like, remember in like the first like couple months, like the first like month and a half or like 3 months or something, it was so crazy. Everyone had no idea what was happening. Everyone was freaking out. It was so crazy. I mean, for due cause. I mean, when was the last time we had a pandemic sweeping around the whole freaking world? But it was crazy. Everyone was so concerned. And then now it's like, it's very weird. It's so on and off. It's just like, where's where you go, right? Like, I go to 3 different gyms to work out. Literally 3. 3 different gyms. We're cutting it down to 1 though. Canceled one of them. I gotta cancel the other one. But it's crazy, right? I go to 3 gyms. 1, no masks at all. None at all. The other one, half masks. And the other one, full masks. It's like, what? I don't know. That's what I think is funny. Is the like, everyone's so inconsistent. At this point, it's like, whatever. Like, I am healthier than nearly everyone in my age group, which is good. And I'm vaccinated, so I got nothing to worry about anymore. Team Supreme. This is an old Supreme hat. I thought about this earlier. This hat used to be tie-dye. Can't see it in the screen. It used to be tie-dye. It's so dirty now and sweaty and gross. It's pretty cool. Dwight, I appreciate that. Oh, you're good, dude. You're fine. It just makes me feel bad too, because I'm like, I don't want to leave you wondering what's happening, and I'm like, I want to find out what's going on, you know, like. It's definitely a problem though with like this secondary shipping thing. Sometimes it takes too long. Sometimes it takes like weeks and it's a problem. Yeah. So I don't like it. So I'm always like, oh, what happened now? Now what messed up? So I always want to like get on it. But it's just, I just can't, you know. So it's crazy. Jordan Sparks, that's a long one too. So I've been playing for a few years. And I've been getting more and more into different types of playstyle, which I think is a very, very good idea. Because, like, you know, this tournament paintball stuff is not all that much fun. I much prefer to go play, like, woods ball. That's really what I want to do. But there's just not a lot of woods around here, so I can't do that. Anyway, so my question is this. What are all the different leagues? I don't know. That I can't tell you. There are way too many. I don't know, there's hundreds probably. The best way to probably do that though, yeah, man, I don't know. I couldn't tell you all of them. There's probably hundreds. There's just too many. The best way to, I was going to start naming them, the ones that I know, but there's still too many. So the best way to probably do this is go to pbleagues, since I can't type right now, we're just going to put it in there and let it autocorrect. PB Leagues is on here, right? So these are all the different tournament leagues that are going on right now. Not all of them, but most of the tournaments are going to end up using, or most of them use PBL. So they're going to use this Paintball Leagues thing. You can see all the tournaments up there. There's the different leagues up here. And you know, there's just a lot of them. There's just a lot. You know, they're all different ones. all these different ones. You can see some of them kind of repeat though. Well, not really repeat, but there's like NXL, there we go, like NXL Asia, and there's NXL Australia. So there's so many leagues, it's really hard to just say like, you know, here's all the leagues. It's super difficult. You're definitely gonna get not a ton of like pro leagues. There's not like, you know, 8 different professional leagues. There's really only one. The NXL is the professional league. There's technically other professional leagues in Europe. There's the CPL, there's NXL Europe, which we just passed. There's NXL Europe right there. NXL Europe, I mean, obviously, they've had problems. It's just hard to get Europe. Europe's COVID right now, so it's just difficult. Everything's just hard. There's some 10-man leagues in here. There's some local stuff. But the NXL certainly is going to be the primary professional league. There's also the International Classic Paintball League, the ICPL. The ICPL just wrapped up a few weeks ago, or last weekend. Yep, in Windy City, Los Angeles. Infamous won that. So the ICPL, they also have pro, but it's all 10-man woods ball stuff. So you're not going to get all the professional teams there, right? Like Infamous was there, AC, which is AC Dallas, and then these other teams. But there's no like Impact's full roster or Dynasty's full roster on a team. Yep. So there's a load of leagues. That was weird. Oh. So what's that? Let's redo that a little bit there. Someone yelled outside. Who's the clown? You see! Some places have issues with COVID and paintball, hence the Russians having issues. Well, sure. I mean, but that's not like a paintball problem. That's more of a travel issue. I thought you were saying earlier that like all the paintball fields were closing, and I was like, what paintball fields? I'm like, I don't know that I know. I don't know. Certainly there's obviously problems with COVID and paintball. I mean, people are dying. That's probably presented a problem for some people in paintball too, you know? Like if your mom dies, she can't take you to the paintball field anymore. That's probably an issue. You know, obviously there's problems. I mean, what are we at? Like 750,000 people have died so far in the US? Well, that's a problem. I don't know. Yep. 2D paintball. No, that's lame. It's like I remember playing back in the day. What did we play? There was that weird like X-Ball desktop game that everyone would play that was like weird. It's kind of like 2D paintball, I guess. It was fairly similar. I know you. What paintball fields have closed though? I don't know of any paintball field. I mean, of course there's paintball fields that have closed, you know. Are we gonna argue about COVID still? Was it digital paintball? What was that weird X-Ball? There was a weird X-Ball one that like you used to be able to download. You used to be able to download something. Like it was like a desktop application. It wasn't actually like online. It was really old. I don't know. Anyway. It was old. I love when people like, ooh, Boozy the Clown. It's awesome. We try to like prove people wrong on the internet. It's like YouTube comments. One of the main reasons I don't like look at comments on YouTube anymore is because maybe like half of them, right? Like half of the comments under videos, it's just like people trying to like prove me wrong somehow. They're like, no, actually, at minute 15, you said that there were 17. There's actually 16.9. It's like fucking. It's like half the comments or something like that. It's crazy. It's so funny. It's like, why do people care? I don't understand. I don't know. It's very weird. So that's kind of why when, like, you know, stop replying to YouTube comments. It just gets exhausting, you know? Obviously, you guys exist today in the world. So I'm sure that some of you people in this chat are the ones leaving those crazy comments. Ah! What is going on? Anyway, how long has it been? It's been 1 hour and 31 minutes. How many paintball guns do I have? Trent asks. Well, I've really only got like 2 or 3 that actually work. I have a Go4. I have a Tippmann A5 that works, I guess. Yeah. Everything else I have is broken. I have a broken DM9. I got a broken TIPX. I have a broken Empire Sniper. Yeah. I mean, I've always got stuff around here. Like, there's a DSR over there. There's, you know, there's this broken MacDev gun that I don't know what to do with, so it's just not working. The solenoid does not click on the mechanical frame, so I don't know what to do with the thing. I was gonna review it, but I don't know, probably not going to. Yeah. What's the average cost, guys, of beginner tournament teams? I don't know what that means. What's the average cost? I don't know. You mean like for a single player to play a tournament? I'll bet that, like, for the average, like, 5-man beginner tournament, you probably spend $250, $300, something like that. I'm gonna guess. I'm not positive. I mean, obviously, it's gonna change a bunch. It depends on, you know, how much paint you shoot and entry prices and stuff like that. Jordan Sparks! I appreciate that super photograph. Thanks for the website. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's easily the best place to find a big, like, conglomeration or whatever. Happy to see other ways to play after only playing Rec for almost 10 years. Oh, for sure. Can you watch online, though, some of these? So maybe, right? I mean, some of the leagues do, right? Like, so certainly let's go back to that. So certainly some of these leagues do webcasts. Definitely you're going to see that league right there, the NXL has a webcast. I think that's NXL Europe, and they have a webcast for sure. MVPS, that league has a webcast, but the problem is like, it's not in one place, you know. You can't just go to this website and they're not going to have them. So this is just like a way for teams to register and like keep track. Most of these leagues are doing them all on Facebook, right? So it's kind of hard. You got to go like find them on Facebook and like kind of know when they're happening. I guess you could do that. I mean, that's not a bad idea, because you can just go like to this upcoming events thing and you can kind of find when all the tournaments are, and you could just go find them on Facebook, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the MSXL, I'm pretty sure that they have a webcast. But you just go to their Facebook, and when the tournament's happening, and I guess you could find out that way. But there really isn't like a specific place, you know, I guess. Something like that. The CEPL streams Facebook, yeah. So the Capital Edge, so locally, like there is the, whoa, that's searching the wrong things. The CEPL, that right there, the Capital Edge Paintball League that happened just a few weeks ago. Like there's just a local tournament. They have, 3-man, so they got like all the really, really rookie people that never played tournaments before, and they do webcasts, so. Is GoSports any good? GoSports isn't bad. GoSports is, as good as they can do, right? I mean, I don't think it's bad. I think they do a good job. I mean, obviously, there's like things that they could do better. Who couldn't? So, I certainly could. Yeah, but GoSports does good. I think the biggest problem GoSports has is just funding, right? The MSXL does not have a webcast. I could have swore they did. Yeah, I mean the biggest problem GoSports has is money, right? I mean, because everyone like is used to watching the NFL, so they like think that like for some reason that GoSports and we should be watching some sort of like NFL like quality broadcast. So everyone complains about everything nonstop. But I do a good job. Yeah, I got no real problems with with GoSports. Their biggest problem is probably like, it's really hard, right? I mean, they got like so many cameras set up and they have to like determine which camera to switch to at the specific time. And I think when I'm watching it, that's probably my biggest complaint is that like, they have all these cameras and the editor or the producer has to choose which camera to show, you know, like, oh, show the snake real quick and, ooh, show camera 4 and shoot whatever. They gotta like on the fly do that. And sometimes they don't do a good job. You know, like the announcers will be talking about something and they're not showing it. That sometimes will happen. So they could definitely do a better job at that. But overall, GoSports is good. For sure. I mean, the quality's good now. It consistently always works. I think Matt does an excellent job at announcing. Rich Telford is their other main announcer. And I think Rich has gotten considerably better announcing. Rich is also very funny. Rich makes me laugh quite a bit. One Only Trill says too many camera angles. I don't think there are, right? I think what happens in that booth, there's too much happening, right? So like, there's not one person dedicated to like doing that. I think that people get distracted, you know, doing something else real quick and you're like, oh shit. Or like, you know, I think that's what happens. There's too much going on and there's just not enough money really to pay one person to just do a good job at that, I think. That's my theory. I really have no idea. But if that's what I feel like happens, hey, I don't know. Could be completely wrong. It would make it easier if there was just one camera angle though, for sure. There would be no switching required. Could the Etha 2 hang in a rookie 3-man tournament? Absolutely. The Etha 2 is very, very good. I mean, the Etha 2 is... I mean, what makes like, you'd think that like, you know, is it good enough, right? So can the Etha 2 shoot well enough to play in a tournament, right? So, you know, this thing's, you know, $1,200, right? The Geo4, and you know, it's definitely good enough for a tournament. I mean, you'd hope so. It's $1,200, right? But like, this really doesn't shoot any better. It's not really any better performing than the Etha 2. I mean, the Etha 2 is super quiet. It doesn't kick really at all. It's really good on paint, so you can shoot that high-end tournament paintball. So it's not like, I mean, it shoots just as good. It's just the Etha 2 is not, you know, it's not all aluminum like this, and maybe the foregrip, you can't store the batteries in there, and like, well, actually you do store the batteries in the foregrip, but you know, there's not as many cool little neat features, you know, the bolt doesn't come out as slick, and like, there's no screen on the back, and it doesn't have all those cool things, but it certainly performs just as good, you know? Think about the Etha 2 kind of like a sleeper car, you know? Back in the day when people were like souping up cars, you could get like some old shitty car and put like a crazy motor in it, and it'd look shitty. It was a sleeper, you know, but had a cool motor in it, so it was really fast. You know, think about the Etha kind of like that. It just looks bad, but it's got like a really good engine in it. I like that analogy. That's not bad. I've never used that one. The Mini and the 2.0 are the same rank the Etha is. The rank, what does that mean? You know what's really kind of cool? I haven't really talked about that much. You can go to this website. You see that right there? pbrml.com/scores. If you go to that, it'll take you here. This is a chart that I made. Right there. We're gonna click that, and go directly to that chart though. So this is a crazy chart. You said rank, so this is the whole reason I brought this up. The Etha 2 is the 1993 CRX. No, it'd be like the CRX, it'd be like a 1999 or like a 2000 WRX. I like that more. WRXs were so cool back in the day. Like maybe like 2002, I don't know. I had a girlfriend in high school. Her mom had a red CRX. Anyway, someone brought up rankings. I made this chart like a long time ago, and I've not really ever talked about it that in detailed in an actual video, which is kind of sad because it's very nice. It's very long, it's super detailed. You can find all these rankings and how like I kind of feel about the rankings. Back on the original page, on this page, you can actually see, I actually like talk about, you know, and describe a little bit, I don't know how I rank those things. So you said the Etha 2 is equal in ranking to the Axe 2.0 or the Mini GS or something like that, right? So this, I mean, I don't know what ranking means anyway. Like this is just some nonsense that I made, right? You could make any chart up you want and you could say whatever you want. So I actually rank the Etha 2 third out of all the paintball guns that I've kind of like reviewed or ever kind of detailedly talked about on this channel. So there's quite a few of them in there, right? I mean, no, there's not 34. There are 31 different guns in here. A lot of stuff though, right? I mean, we got the CS2 in there. There's a TM40 that just reviewed, Etha 2, that 170R, DSR Plus, and EMAC, GO4, all those guns, right? So I actually put that Etha 2 as the third best paintball gun out. The third one. The biggest thing that like holds it back is just that feature category, you know, like I was just talking about. It's gonna have low features. It only is getting a 6, you know, whereas the TM40 you get a 9, because you get a lot more stuff. You get that removable screen, you get that screen, and you know, the trigger frame comes off. A lot of cool stuff happens. But the Axe, I put all the way down there at 17th. No. 17th. You know, I think the Axe shoots really good, right? It's really quiet. It's almost just as loud as the Etha. That's why these all kind of get 7s. They're all kind of the same. These high-end guns are sound signatures very similar. It kicks very little. You know, the ergonomics aren't as good though. I don't think the ergonomics are as good. The features are somewhat similar. There's really not. It's still the Axe, right? It's hard to tell. That's 7 right there. Desirability is only at a 5 though. No one really wants that thing. No one really wants the Axe. Everyone kind of wants something else, you know? I don't know. That doesn't mean it's bad though. I really like those things. No brass eagle gun, someone said. No, just, I don't know. I just haven't ever reviewed them, you know? Like there's a review on this channel for all these things. Nah, maybe not. Maybe I guess I didn't review those, but I don't really, whatever. I also don't have weights for some of these. You can kind of see that like the DSR that just came out, right? Right there. We could compare both the DSRs and DSR Plus and DSR, right? Kick, I think it kicks a little bit less, a little bit less, a little less. Kick is the only thing that it probably like changed in. I think desirability. I think that the desirability between these two guns, more people have been interested in the DSR Plus than were interested in the DSR. So I think that DSR Plus gets a little bit of a jump in desirability. Yeah. So this chart's kind of cool. If anybody like, I don't know, wants to think about or wants to see kind of what I think about all these guns, it's really right there. See, chaos sucks. Look at the zone guns at the bottom. It's hard though, right? Because the Cronus is awesome. The Cronus is a very good paintball gun, right? You can see that it kills it in some of these categories. Like reliability, I'm sure that's like reliability and ease of use, and they just like work, right? But nobody wants the goddamn thing. Nobody cares. No one wants the Cronus. You get the Cronus because you kind of have to. It's a good deal. It's cheap. Yep. Paintball gun. Well, guys. Boozy the Clown. Yeah, that's this friggin' spreadsheet. I'm farting. That spreadsheet, it didn't take too long. I was gonna say it took forever. It looks like it took forever because it's friggin' huge, but that one kind of smells. But I just keep adding stuff to it, right? There's a bunch of these charts. If you go to the PaintallRuinedMyLife.com website, you can go to the bottom. And there's like a cool stuff. There's this hopper one, there's a tank one. Oops, sorry. There is a tank one, but I'm not actually done with it yet, so it's not on here. There's a couple of things, right? Look at this hopper weights. So this is all the hopper weights that, I don't know, all the new hoppers roughly. There's probably some stuff on here that I have not actually... Yeah, there's probably some stuff on here that I actually probably have not weighed yet or put on here. All weights are without batteries, kinda, but TFX3 has like that built-in one, so... Hopper weights is a good one. This is probably the most important chart that no one probably knows about. This chart is probably more useful for people like buying a pack, or maybe even more useful for like paintball stores. This will tell you how big a pack is. One of the problems is that the pack links are just... This chart is not sorted right. I kind of want this chart sorted by total length or something, but it's sorted by name. But in here you can find the total length of a belt. So you can find the length of the belt just measured like that, right? Just measuring the length of it in the backyard. And is that the backyard? No, that's the paintball store. Yeah, all these, you can find the normal belt length, and then some of the belts are more stretchy, right? That elastic stretches more. And when you stretch that elastic, it makes a total length. So you can find what pack fits you best. This is useful because they do vary quite a bit, and I mean, if you're a bigger guy, having this could be kind of useful, right? I mean, because some of these packs are like this much longer. I mean, the belts are quite a bit different. So it can make quite a bit of difference. That's what everyone's saying their ages. Is this like, we could do like ASL like that? Like, it's like old school times. It's like we're in a chat room. ASL, or the chat room. Oh, that's not how you do it though. You actually do it like this. Is that how you do it? And then you're supposed to put your age, sex, and language. Yep. So this one's cool too. This is a paintball barrel lengths and weights. This one might not be so exciting. The main reason I've made some of these, the main reason I made this one, and the main reason I made the tank one, is just that I had a reference, right? I seem to always talk about hoppers and tanks and barrel weights in videos, and I forget, and I don't write stuff down, because I'll like go to talk about a hopper and then talk about another one. I just weigh them in when I'm writing about it, and then just take a note of it. And I never keep that. So this is now a big ass list so that I know what barrels are, really the weights. Yeah, I find that useful. You can see some of this shit's hella light. These carbon IC barrels are 97 grams. Deadly Wind, insane. Insane. 60 grams. 60 grams. That's crazy. They're very light. Zach is a female from Miami. Zach, I'm sorry your parents named you that. It's a terrible name for a girl. Terrible name. I don't think I have any other cool charts. I think that's all. I could probably add some barrels to this. I don't know though, maybe not. Oh god, that's true. Someone said they were trans. Oh god, that's true. Should we even put sex in there anymore, or should it be like... I don't know. Someone else. Your choice. Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice. That's my sex today. Dealer's choice. I've bought weed that weighs more than those barrels. I have certainly not. I have never purchased any marijuana over those weights. I mean, no. Maybe the 14 gram one. Maybe the 22 gram one. Definitely not 60 grams. Why? That is why. Oh, that's why ASL died out. Yeah. Should anyone remember, it's like, you gotta be old though. Remember going into like AOL chat rooms and being like, and not having any idea what was going on. The chat room would just be called like, hanging out on Wednesday. I've definitely never purchased cocaine. That has definitely never happened. I purchased other drugs a long time ago though. I don't do drugs. I don't know what I'm talking about drugs for. Lots of want to be smart people in paintball, just like myself. I pretend that I'm smart. Oh man, aim screen names. Punjabi. That's pretty good. Punjabi. You gonna jab some poon? Anyway. What time is it? 6 o'clock, something like that? Yep. You know, I don't know. What's the next? There are a couple, you know what we could do? I could like show you guys some like behind the scenes stuff. We're gonna see how this works if I open up Final Cut while streaming. This might totally break the computer. Whoosh, there we go. Look at this. This might be kind of cool. Whoa. So this will be happening pretty soon here. Let's do player. Oh god. There we go. This will be happening at some point here. Damn, it's gonna be super loud. So yeah, I'm gonna do, I mean, I don't know, this is the adrenaline. Look at me snap shooting and hitting the thing. I was trying to get in the shade, so I had to get super close to like this wall. You can see it when I'm snap shooting moving. Hitting it with my side. Yeah, this is the Adrenaline Luxe. That was a pretty fast one. Yeah. These are cool though. I mean, this is, yeah, the adrenaline. I don't know when I'm gonna really, when this video's gonna come out. I mean, the video is pretty much done. I just have to actually do it. The adrenaline, the Alexas are so dope. They almost are starting to look like the Pickle. I don't know if they look like the Planet Eclipse guns. They definitely work very well. They're definitely making ground up, right? It's like the Luxes have gotten better. In the last like 4 or 5 years, Luxes have gotten considerably better. I mean, the X is much, much nicer than, let's just do this. The Lux X is much nicer than any of the previous Luxes, and the TM40 is awesome. But the Planet Eclipse guns have kind of like stayed where they are, you know? I mean, they haven't really like, what is going on with my mouse? There we go. The Planet Eclipse guns kind of haven't really changed all that much in a while, you know? Ball detents. Eye covers. Boop. Lots of B-roll. 10 minutes of this. Look at that. Looks like we're at a jewelry store. Or it's like QVC. You guys could buy this right now. just 10 easy payments of $100. No, that's too cheap. 25 easy payments of $100. I don't have this though. This is not actually my gun, so look at that bad boy. It's actually Anthony's. He is somewhere in this. I think he's in this shooting area. Oh, there he is. Sorta. Oh, there he is. Really cool.
Ooh, I can do the paint flying by. Yeah, they're
The VIP room in Dubai at a jewelry store. You know, I'd like to go to Dubai someday. I don't know though. Dubai is a weird place. Very weird. Very weird. So at some point, this video is going to come out. This video, and there's also I made this one soon. These are just some really shitty eBay. Some really like shitty knee pads I bought on Amazon. This is like the only footage of me ever playing paintball on this channel. I mean, there's footage of me playing, but you don't actually see me playing. It's just like the first person stuff. Woo! Look at this big slide right here. Pretty good. So those are actually the new HK Army track air pants, the TRK air pants. I really like these. They're pretty cool. Yeah. Anyway. We're switching back. Do vlogs. I'd probably kill myself before I started vlogging. That's not a joke. Like, yeah. I'd probably kill myself. I do want to start experimenting more with different styles of videos, which is going to happen. But I just gotta do it, you know. What I do want people to do, I think that if you like this channel and you watch paintball videos on this channel ever, like if you're watching this live stream, I want more people to like videos. I notice that like a lot of channels, it's weird, like some YouTube channels, you know, they just get tons of likes. Like people just like their videos instantly. And yeah, I want more people to do that. So if you're watching a video ever on here, just like the goddamn video. You know, whether you like it or not, just do it. How old am I? I am 37 years old. Do cats and dogs see color? That's one of the emails I just got. I get too much fucking email. Too much email. I'm old. The pants I wear and 18 years old are the twisted paintball pants. I remember those twisted paintball pants. Yeah. Tyler Harmon, his dad used to own that company. And the theory, here's a theory for you. You know how Tyler, everybody talks about Tyler Harmon and how like Tyler was 14 years old when he started playing paintball, and he was like the youngest pro player ever. And at the time, he played for the Oakland. I think they were still called the Oakland Assassins. So it was Bob Long's team, right? They played in Northern California, and Tyler Harmon, I believe Tyler Harmon's dad. Now that I'm talking about this, it's been so long, but we're just going to pretend like it's true. Tyler Harmon's dad owned Twisted Paintball products. And at the time, Twisted Paintball was a big sponsor of some of the local or pro teams, right? They sponsored Assassins, they sponsored... I'm blanking on their team. But they sponsored quite a few teams. So the rumor was always that the only reason that Tyler was ever on Oakland was because somehow his dad, through a sponsorship with the Oakland Assassins, kind of like finagle his son on the team somehow. Because it never really made sense. I mean, honestly, back in the day, like, Tyler might have been good for a 14-year-old, you know? But he probably should not have been on the team. And he really didn't play all that much the first couple years, if I'm remembering correct. Well, so it was always very weird that he was on the team. Tyler Harmon now is one of the best players in the world, and he has been for, 15-something years. So, I don't know. It's not like he's saying he isn't deserving now of playing, on Heat and getting all that paid money and whatever. But I think back in the day, it was some weirdness with him playing professionally. I don't know if that's like, who knows, right? Because that's just stupid paintball rumors from back in the day. But I could see it happening, it wouldn't be the first time, and, boozy the classes. Nepotism happens all the time in sports, 100%, right? I don't know, right? Like, who, in Tyler's case, who cares, really? It's like, whatever. It's not a big deal. It's probably bad if it's happening, like, at work and stuff, if you're, like, screwing people over to hire your sister or something, That's kind of lame. But at the same time, it's not, The reason I own the company is so I can hire whoever I want, so. It's like nepotism in sports. It's like Formula One and race car driving. Guys like buy Formula One teams for like $2 billion just to have their kid race. It's crazy. That's crazy. Or there's paintball teams that have gone pro just so their son could play. Right? Houston Heat is a good example of that. Right? Isn't Ryan Smith? So Ryan Smith, Randy Smith's son, Sarge owns Houston Heat. The only reason Houston Heat ever started was so that Ryan Smith could play pro. Right? Ryan Smith was good. He's a good player. He probably wasn't good enough to be playing on Houston Heat at the time when Houston Heat started some however many years ago it was. That light went off. Someone super chatted, but it's taking forever. Zate. I appreciate it, sir. Nate, I appreciate it so much. Nate, we were watching a video earlier that Nate helped me film. I definitely need help again. We're going to talk about that. Lance Stroll is exactly the person that I was thinking about when I was talking about Formula One. But it happens all the time, right? I mean, there's always these billionaires. It's weird that all the Formula One drivers were rich before. It's like, I don't know. It's very odd. And I watch Formula One, and I'm confident I could do it. Brian, $25 super chat. I think that's so much, sir. Thank you for making these videos. Absolutely. Thank you for super chats. Thanks for people watching. You know, people that actually watch, you know, it's helpful. Hands down the best out there for paintball videos. Everything else, I don't know. I'm just glad we don't have like someone who actually takes this serious, because I don't know. I wish we had more people to take this serious. I would want more big YouTube paintball channels. Like, that'd be good. You've got the only channel I found with both good professional videos and actual objectivity. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. I like to think that the videos are professional. I do kind of think about like objectivity. It's 'cause I don't really care, you know? Like, I think that like, or like biased stuff, like people are always saying like I'm a Planet Eclipse fan, and I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I'm a fan because their guns are good. It's really like the only reason, you know? I don't really care how well the company does. I have no like personal investment. And I've been in paintball for so long at this point, like, yeah, 20-something years, that the like excitement, well, I still get excited to see cool guns, but definitely, you know, I wasn't excited, you know, it's 2003, so that excitement's kind of worn off, and I don't really care, you know what I mean? Like, I don't care if MacDev's good or bad, or Planet Eclipse is good or bad. I don't care. So it's never been difficult for me to just say whatever. One of the hard things, though, is definitely like, it's definitely hard sometimes to say bad things, though, because I don't want to, like, I know a lot of people, right? And like, say, I don't know, say Die, for instance, right? Die comes out with like the DSR 2 and it's just terrible. Like, I don't want to say bad things about them because, like, I know people that work there, and I don't want it to seem like I'm saying bad things about that person, you know what I mean? Because that's what it seems like, you know? Like, you know, imagine if I made this, I designed this from scratch or whatever, and then someone's like, it's terrible. I'd be like, damn, that sucks. It'd kind of feel like, you know, an attack to me. But it's not really. I just don't like this paintball gun, you know? So it's sometimes difficult to say negative things. And I'm not really negative in general, so I just don't like doing it. And yeah, you're probably not going to see, you're probably not going to see like me say like bad stuff. Like if companies come out with products that aren't good, I'm just not going to review them a lot of the time. If Planet Eclipse comes out with a gun, I'm going to review it. If Die comes out with a gun, I'm going to review it. That MacDev XDR back there is not good. I do not like the XDR. I'm just not going to talk about it. I just don't want to do it anymore, so, you know. Brad, does looking at viewer retention hurt your feelings? I don't know what that means. My phone is hooked up to the speaker. We'll call him later. Yeah. No, viewer retention, mine's, I don't know, right? Like, it's difficult. It's hard to, or what are we comparing it to? Because I only have one channel to compare it to. I think that you can like hear and read what other people say, but if you're not comparing it to something that you understand, it's a little hard, right? Like, I can look at like viewer retention of videos, but I'm like, okay. Every video is different, right? I'm doing a video on a tank and then a gun and then like a whatever, all these things. So like, it definitely, it's just different. Every video is so different. But you can definitely see like the more B-roll that I show, the more like not me talking, the more pictures of paintball guns, or the more pictures of it shooting, or the more pictures of me holding it and messing with it, people watch that more. If it's just me talking, people definitely start clicking off of that stuff. Yep. Brian, that's a lot of comment. When I say objectivity, I'm talking about the financial interest. What? For sure. What do you mean financial interest? There should be no objectivity in financial interest, though. I mean, finances is all just numbers, right? So why would there be objectivity in finance? I don't know. The big channels run by big online stores need to say that every new thing is great. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's always been the problem. I mean, every single YouTube channel almost. I mean, there's a couple, I mean, for paintball at least, right? There's a couple for paintball that, you know, people are actually like reviewing guns sometimes, but they're not reviewing, you know, this and then the TM40 and then the next new one and then the next new one and the next new one. They don't have as like much hands-on with as many products as I do. So it makes it a little hard, right? They can't directly compare things as quickly or whatever. You know, like I literally just shot the TM40 and the DSR Plus and the CS2 Pro and the Adrenaline Lux and like all those guns. Most people probably can't do that. So I think being able to get all that stuff is cooler, right? A lot of the people that are just independent, we'll say, can't do that. And then the YouTube channels that can, right, like A&S Gear or Pro Edge or whatever, you know, they're obviously gonna, like you said, say this stuff's good because they're trying to sell it. They're not gonna be like, this is terrible, buy it now. You know? Yeah, it's hard. Why do I use the Aerolite? Because, really. These regs are good. I mean, we've had no problems with these regs. I mean, these HK Army regs have been working fine. So regs are good. But I really like this 80. I prefer that 80. It's just like literally a smidge longer than the 77. But the main reason is just because of the size. I think that if you're gonna buy any Ninja tank or any of these HK Army regs, that's what I would buy. So I really like the Ninja regulator that they put on there specifically. The Powerhouse stuff's also great, but it's just so expensive. I mean, these are like $220 or something like that, so they're just a little bit more affordable. Those Powerhouse, like, you know, infamous ones with like the 80 with that Powerhouse regulator, like $300 something. And I haven't paid that much money for a tank since 2000, something like that. Crazy. Have you heard anything about these wiffle reusable paintballs? The brand is Atomic Pickles. They're available for pre-order on A&S Gear. I wouldn't get them. I think they suck. Here, I got some around here. Well, actually, I don't know. I don't know where they're at. Maybe I have them in my, like, hold on. This is one of my random boxes. It has a Pixel 5 in it. I have a single elbow pad from PB Rack, a single PB Rack elbow pad. Now, look at all this stuff. Some of this stuff is so random. Here's a solenoid for an Intimidator. You need some eyes. You need some eyes for your Halo. I got Halo B eyes if you guys got a Halo sitting around. Here's some Cocker parts. We got a Velocity. Man, I hate how this is face detection. This is a Velocity lock nut. For a black ice ray. Okay, it's not in there. Okay, this is another one. This is more like props though. Oh, there we go. The Atomic Pickle Projectiles. So yeah, so long ago they released these things. So now these are going to be different, right? These were like the very first batch or whatever, and They were very weird. I mean, my like main issue with these things is that like, yeah, they fit into a paintball gun. Oops, what's going on here? Need to do that. They fit into a paintball gun, right? Which is great. But they just shot all over the place. You couldn't hit anything with them. Someone say ANS owns them. Someone said they are owned by ANS, but I don't know what that's referring to. I don't know. But yeah, man, the first time we saw these was probably like 4 years ago or something like that. They're 3D printed, which is kind of cool. Hence, that's why they're kind of crazy shaped. They're really squishy, which is neat, right? It doesn't hurt when you get shot by them because they just get, smashed so easy. But they're just like all over the place. Like, I couldn't hit anything at all. I mean, stuff that was like 10 feet away, it was just like, okay. Like, it didn't really even matter at all. I couldn't hit anything. But like I said, I know they've changed them though. So this is not like, the current ones might be a little bit different. Maybe they like changed the hole shape or like the size of the hole or like the thickness of the walls, and they're maybe heavier now and shoot a little bit different or something like that. But I don't know. They're pretty bad. The alternative that I like, I mean, these kind of suck because you can't, I mean, they're cool because you can shoot them inside, right? I mean, someone said something about Reball, and that's Reball. That's real Reball though. I mean, this stuff is from like 2004 or 2005. That's why it's so dirty. So this is the real stuff. Like a real Reball. So this is actually good. The newer stuff, depending on the brand, and it's honestly even kind of hard to say what to buy, but the newer stuff that I've shot, I don't think, I don't know. I was gonna say the newer stuff that I've used, it doesn't actually like shoot straight either, because I think that this Reball, the old stuff, is definitely heavier and more consistently round. So I've found that with the newer stuff, it doesn't shoot straight, and it's not round enough to like check velocity. One of the things that's cool about those is they're so consistent, is that I can use those to check velocity on guns. Whereas the Reball, the like off-brand stuff or the newer stuff is so wonky that like, yeah, you couldn't check velocity with it. So I didn't like it. Reball is a brand. Yep, for sure. Reball is actually like the first, reusable paintball. And then it actually got bought by Angel, and they called it A-Ball. And then I don't know what happened. Then it got kind of confusing. Reball. I don't know, guys. Been doing this for a while. I might call it quits. It's almost 6:30. Yep. I was thinking about baseball. Baseball is not on tonight. No, baseball is not on tonight. My buddy got lit up point blank with Reball while jumping on a bed shirtless for like a jackass type stunt. Reball fucking hurts. It hurts. I mean, it hurts. So some teams, not so much in the United States, but some teams actually practice with that. There used to be, and there probably still are, some Reball facilities in Europe, and definitely Russian Legion used to practice with it. Swedish team, Joy Division used to use it all the time, and they used to play inside. So it was really cool. But I mean, they probably used to play at like 290, 285, whatever we're playing out with normal paint. But whenever you'd go to like a place to play it, like a place you'd pay, whatever, they made everyone shoot like 230, because it definitely hurts way more. Because like every single one of them just bounces off, So with a paintball, you get hit and like all the energy spreads out because it breaks. Or even if it bounces, most of the time it's going slow. But you get bounced by that stuff at like 240 in the side, and it's like, oh man, it It hurts. It hurts. So getting shot at 300 is a brutal. I don't know why I brought that up. Someone said something about velocity. Getting shot in the bed. That's crazy. Can you do lives more often? I would like to, but I don't. Live streams. So I thought about doing, maybe even not even making videos as much, and just doing live streams. I'm like, I could just do live streams on like Tuesday and Thursdays or something like that. I definitely want to start doing them consistently on Thursdays. That's probably my goal. I don't know if there's going to be a time when they happen. Probably roughly the same times. Probably like in between 3 and 5 is when I'll probably start them. I don't want to set a time yet because it's like just so random, right? Like, yeah, I'm like, sometimes I can do them, sometimes I can't. And the live streams are weird, right? I mean, you gotta be in like the right frame of mind for the thing. It's this big, long, arching thing. You know, I've been talking to myself for 2.5 hours now. It's very like, it's draining. And I gotta be in the right mode. Cause it's difficult, you know, like I get up at like 6, go work out and go do stuff all day long. And then it's like, man, just don't want to do it. I just don't want to do it. What do I do for a living? I do paintball stuff. I do this and some other internet things that are not exciting, that involve randomly writing code for stuff. Before I go, will you make an Ultimate Etha 2 build? Probably not. Nah. Because the Etha 2 is just not as cool, right? I mean, I did it for the EMAC, and I kind of made an auto-conquer thing. And the conquer is cool just because there's so many parts. It's just kind of interesting to choose parts. And the same's kind of true with the EMAC, but you could kind of, I guess, use some of those parts for the Etha. But I don't know, it's just not as interesting, right? The EMAC's cool because you can get the different valve and mess with the trigger system and stuff like that. The Etha, I guess you could get a different trigger for, but you're not going to really mess with it too much. You know, it's just a different shape. With the EMAC, at least, you're changing the valve and stuff. And I'd really probably just do the same thing almost, you know? Like, it'd be almost the same video. I'd be like, here's a body kit. Yeah, you know, it'd be the same stuff. It's probably not. Probably not. Yep, the internet. I can do some, well, HTML and Java. I mean, I can't do HTML anymore. I mean, I guess I could HTML, but I never just straight HTML. So some JavaScript, I can do some JavaScript, some PHP, and Python. I've been writing Python script lately. My friend Mike wants me to learn something. He wants me to learn React stuff, but I don't know. Not Mike, James. Crush. Mike called earlier. But I hate the internet, so I don't really do that stuff as much as I try to like limit how much I work. I work when I have to. You know. Can you still get the old Monster Ball paintballs? They were a little harder than Reball. For sure. It was definitely a little bit harder than Reball. No Monster Ball. You know, that's one of the reasons, like, around here that we can't even use blue fill, is because they wanted to ban Monster Ball, so since it was blue on the inside, they're like, oh, we're just gonna ban blue. It's like, well, that's stupid. There's other paint that are blue filled too, it's not just all Monster Ball. Oh, I don't know. Romero, thank you. I don't know to the beginning. Do you think ICD will continue to make new paintball guns? Indian Creek Design, do they currently make paintball guns? I don't even know. Whoop. Whoa, I can't type. Gee whiz. Do they really make stuff? I have no idea. Whoa, what is this stuff? That is not a paintball gun, right? Is that... What the hell is this? Is this legal? What is this? Huh. I don't know. Well, that's not a paintball gun. Do they make paintball? What the heck is this stuff? Is this paintball? What? I forgot about this thing. Did they ever make this? I totally forgot about this. Huh. Did they ever come out with this thing? It's pretty cool looking. I mean, one of the things that kind of like disappointed or like kind of wish that Field 1 would like come out with the MVP 2, because I mean this kind of reminds me, you know, it kind of reminds me of the MVP. It's definitely got like a freestyle body though. It doesn't look like the freestyle. Those things were terrible. Yeah, so I'm talking about that magazine. I was like, what the heck? I just didn't expect to see real gun stuff. I was like, what the heck is this stuff? I just thought it was all paintball, you know? And then they're making other things, which is a good idea. I mean, you know, if you're able to make, you know, if you can make this, you can make other things, right? So it's like Dye. Like Dye has Dye CNC, so Dye Paintball, you know, they're making all their barrels and they're making all the other stuff. It's like, they might as well start making F-16s. They're not making F-16s, that's for sure. But they're making all kinds of other, like, you know, things with their machines. Like this really old PM7. They're making all this cool stuff. Look at how high quality that looks. I want some paintball stuff that looks that good, right? Okay, I don't know. Are legal firearms legal in California or just, oh jeez, who knows? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. Guns in California, guns everywhere are weird. It's just weird how there's so many different laws in America, right? It's just crazy how I can go to like Nevada or whatever, and then just drive to Nevada and then just come back or something and it's just weird. Yeah. Oh, YouTube is freaking out about gun stuff as we speak, right? This is gonna get my channel demonetized. I know, most of the videos that I upload now aren't monetized. Like, so I upload them and YouTube sees paintball guns and they think that they're real guns. So I have to like manually like claim the videos every time. Every time there's like a problem, they want me to like manually review it. And most of the time when they do a manually review, they're like, oh, it's paintball, and they say it's okay, but it still sucks. I mean, there's been videos where I uploaded like 7 or 8 different times and had to like request reviews, and then finally one of them was like, okay, you're good. But you know, you gotta understand, like I totally get it. Like, man, if I was YouTube, I wouldn't want anything to do with that stuff. Like, keep me away from it. Like, it's unfortunate that like YouTube has to deal with that stuff, right? Like, it's crazy that they're getting stuck in like this like free speech, like we can do whatever we want situation, because it's like, you know, as a private company, as YouTube, like I would not want real gun stuff on my website either. Like, I just wouldn't want to deal with it. Like, it just seems so much easier just to, like, not deal with it. Like, what? Just cut it off. We're not making enough money. It's not like YouTube's making hundreds of millions of dollars from the gun content, you know? You just cut it all off. So I get it. It's just unfortunate for paintball, you know, because we're using guns and it's kind of all, like, associated with each other, and yeah. I get it, though. There's mass shootings all the time, so they should have distanced themselves from that. Yep. I don't know. Okay, guys, I appreciate it. Everybody's super chats are awesome. This is a very long live stream. Did not think we were gonna do this for this long, but I appreciate it so very much. Very soon, so on Tuesday, I don't know what we're gonna see. Tuesday, the Adrenaline Lux video might come out, or that Amazon shitty knee pad video. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure. I think we'll just see how the wind takes it, and then we'll do that. Fish is getting a Force for Christmas. It's a good gun, for sure. Every time I see it, I'm like, man, I kind of want one of those things. I really like the Force. Gun content's popular. I know, I watch some gun content, for sure. There's like 3 channels that I watch. But you gotta, you know, I get it. I get it.